Hello, so I'm Roger from PSI Audio, and we're here in Munich at the high-end show 2024 on the first day, and we've had lots of visitors so far. So we are PSI Audio, and our main trade is making loudspeakers that we've been making for over 47 years in Switzerland, that is. And the aim has always been to transform an electric signal into an acoustic signal as accurately as possible, and that's been our sole quest over the last decades anyway, since the company was started. So the people who appreciate that most are typically sound engineers in the professional world, and most of the speakers we make are destined to the professional audio, and we have amongst the best or the most prestigious references around the world. Now, all that technology that we developed, we've also now put into a very elegant speaker that can be used in household, and that has all the technology that comes from professional audio. And what we like to say is, listen to music the way it was made with professional equipment. So we spare no efforts in making the best sound possible, or the most accurate sound possible. And when I mean accurate, I mean to reproduce all the details and all the subtleties that you have in the recordings. So we make our own drivers. These are all very specific drivers that we developed in-house to be very light and very efficient and very, very low distortion. Our speakers are active, so they are amplified. They have a three-way speaker, has 3 amplifiers, class GH for the low end, class GH for the mid-range, and class AB for the high frequencies. They're phase linear, the frequency is flat, and each one is calibrated in an anechoic environment, so the sound is perfect. So I highly recommend that you listen to professional grade speakers if you have the occasion to, and you can hear all the details that you have in the recordings and what the musician and the sound engineers wanted to reproduce. Now, having made the best speakers is one thing, but then you put them in the room and you see that you've only done half of the job, and the room needs treatment also. And by far the worst issue that you have in rooms is low frequency room modes. Why? Because first of all, they resonate for a long time, much longer than the other frequencies. And secondly, as they're low frequency, they have very long wavelengths, and it's very difficult to interact with them with small devices. You need very big passive devices if you want to interact with them. So that's why we developed an active bass trap, which is broadband, which is extremely effective. How it works has been known for decades, but nobody's ever managed to make one that's stable and efficient. And our knowledge and our experience making drivers move accurately in frequency and phase with analog technology, because latency is an issue in this system, is probably why we managed to develop this AVAA that I'm going to present to you right now. So I'd like to show you here the AVAA C214. So it's a pressure-based absorber, it's an absorber, it's a bass trap, it's not anti-noise, it's not noise cancelling, there's no anti-phase or I don't know what. It is a pressure-based absorber, so it'll absorb pressure. There's a microphone that measures pressure, and then there's drivers that are going to pull the pressure out over a distance about 1.5 meters around it. It's active, of course, but there's no calibration. You just have to plug it in, and then you can put the gain up or down. It's the only thing you can do. It's extremely efficient, all the way down to 15 Hertz, and the efficiency goes up to about 150 Hertz, and then it rolls off pretty quickly. But most of the room modes are typically between 20 and 100, so that covers that very comfortably. So the only thing you can do with them, it's a pressure-based absorber, so you want to put it in a place where there's a lot of pressure. And where's that? That's typically in the corners. And forget about frequencies. How do you tune them in anything? If there's pressure, it'll absorb it. If you have pressure at 30, 60, and 90 Hertz, it'll absorb all of those. So the only thing you can play with is where you position them. Typically, you need 2. Why? Well, because you try and keep things symmetrical, and then normally issues with room modes, you can't treat them all in one single place, so you normally have 2, up to rooms that are about rooms up to about 40 square meters, and above that you can have more if necessary. Very efficient. Nothing else can interact with room modes down to 15 Hertz apart from very big passive devices or active devices like this one. No tuning. Movable assets. If you move out of your room or you move something in your room, you don't have to retune them, you just take them with you when you move out. This is a big absorber in a very small room, but if you have 2 of them in a big room, that's the effect. So we don't change the actual signal, you don't change the source of sound, you'll only be acting on the resonance time that you can reduce in there, which is the most disturbing. Very useful in all rooms. We've also installed some in boiler rooms, heat pump rooms, so not just everywhere where there's low frequency issues. And it's an acoustic treatment, it's not anti-noise, it's acoustic absorption that acts between 15 and 150 Hertz, where there's most of the problems. Very useful in all rooms. Thank you for your attention, and come and visit us in Switzerland.